Brother Time does not offer medical, financial, or any other kind of professional advice or opinion. This is just us talking about things we want to talk about. So take it with chocolate drizzled on top and stuffed with peanut butter. In spite of everything bad, do good. I'm Isaac, 5 of 10, and the best Easter candy is it's actually Peeps.
No, it's not actually that.
Well, so here's the thing. Peeps, I don't actually like Peeps, but
That's weird that you said it was the best. So you just don't like candy.
I like candy. I like rope candies are my favorite, actually. Like the not rope candies, but the
most people would pick a flavor that they like most, like chocolate or fruity, but you choose a form factor. Like if it's in the form of a rope, you like it.
It's true though. Anyways, the reason I chose Peeps though is it seems like it's the most versatile, and it seems like it is also the most Easter candy. So like there are some people who intentionally set their Peeps out so they get this crispy outer layer, and then they eat them like a day after or a few days after they open it. And it's also something that only shows up around Easter time as far as I've seen. Like, they're not selling Peeps around Christmas time.
I think they're embarrassed to sell Peeps, and so they keep them kind of back hidden. Like, you have to go up to the counter and say, like, knock on the counter a certain way, and then say, like, I'm looking for, and then
I don't think that's
whisper.
Fair, because they don't. Where's the eggnog?
Yeah, that's true. I guess they shouldn't be.
And eggnog is delicious.
Yeah, eggnog should be year-round. Although, if it was, it would be even harder to manage weight gain, because...
Yeah, it's just sugar. It's
if you
I
look
haven't had it in a while, but...
it's like 300 calories per 8 ounces or something like that. It's wild how many calories they pack into eggnog.
I just remember liking it a lot as a kid, and I think that's why. It was just like...
I got it a few times as an adult, but it's still really good. It's just too many calories. Anyway, I'm Josh, 8 of 10, and I feel like my favorite candy for Easter, or what I think is the best, is probably Cadbury candies, like Cadbury chocolate. I like the little eggs with the...
So you went with a brand. That's interesting.
Well, it's mostly their chocolate tastes good.
Okay.
I like their chocolate, although I will say quality seems to have declined, which is unfortunate.
100%, yeah. They came out with some lower end products. Their lower end products, and they still maintain their price point, which is kind of odd. It's like, here's some tiny eggs, chocolate eggs, with only a little bit of plastic in it, but we're going to give you the no plastic price for it.
Yeah, the Cadbury eggs, the chocolate outer with the creamy liquid in the middle, those I'm pretty sure have gotten smaller over the years.
I think you actually got bigger.
No, that's not possible. I remember distinctly
my whole hand.
Yeah, holding them in my hand, and it would be the whole hand. Now it's just a small part. No, but it's hard to say which is the best Easter candy, because it just feels like all the main ones have gotten.
Think about this. If the Easter Bunny knocked on your door, he had a basket for you, what would be your favorite thing to see in the basket right now?
Oh, see, I'm not even sure.
For me, it would be the ropes. Put some rope candies in there.
It's filled to the brim with ropes, sugary ropes.
Yeah. The sweet tart ropes are amazing. I don't remember what flavor it is, but the rainbow, the one that's rainbow is delicious.
Twizzlers, the rainbow Twizzlers. Those are one of my favorite candies.
Nope, not that. Really? You like rainbow Twizzlers?
Yeah, I just like...
What about the sweet tart ropes I sent you?
Those are good. I like them. I know they're one of Adam's favorite.
Well, Adam likes the nerd ropes best.
Oh, wait. For some reason, I thought you meant nerd ropes. Sweet tart ropes are disgusting. I hate them. No, I'm just kidding. They're good. Those are pretty good. I do like those a lot. The nerd ropes I know Adam really likes, and so if I ever see them on sale, I'll buy a bunch of them and then just hand them to him without saying anything.
Nice.
The next time I see him, and yeah,
that's really sweet. A little too sweet. Let's take a break. Are we back?
Yep.
Oh man, this next topic has me motivated.
Yeah, I've been having this issue. So as a hobby, I like to develop an Unreal Engine, and I like to think I've gotten
gaming.
Yeah, gaming.
Video games.
Yeah. And I like to think I've gotten pretty good at Unreal. Like I can accomplish things that initially when I started just seemed insurmountable. I'm able to, find a way to make it work. It still takes a lot of time though, and that's this topic, obsessive motivation. Like I found myself needing to prevent, like if I start at like Saturday at 6 a.m., like if I wake up early and start working on something in Unreal, before I know it, it's 6 p.m.
Oh no.
Like I just get engrossed in it. And so I have to set boundaries. I have to say, no, I'm going to, because the other side of that is, even though I enjoy doing it, when I'm done with it, it still felt like I've been working. Like it doesn't necessarily feel like I've just been relaxing and enjoying time away from work. It feels like I'm working, even though I enjoy it. Like I don't feel super relaxed and like I enjoyed my weekend if I spend all Saturday doing that. And it also means I don't get other things done that I meant to.
Yeah, you're also doing school and full-time work.
Yeah.
Like not that we need play to survive, but you also seem like you do well when you have some play mixed in with like balance.
Yeah, I feel like it's important for me, and I've just been having this issue where I just get sucked into it, and I just feel like I'm being really obsessive, and I don't want to do anything else once I start on it. Have you ever had something like that?
All the time. Yeah, I get, but it doesn't even have to be something that I enjoy a lot, but just a couple weeks ago, I was helping out a coworker with a drywall patch. And that can take some time, but I would get, I guess, kind of focused, like I get into the zone where I'm doing it and I lose all track of time. Like if I'm not checking the time or setting like, oh, here's an alarm I need to head home by 7 p.m. or 6:30 so I can help tuck in the kids. Something like, if I don't do that, I could go forever if no one ever. I feel like that could happen.
Yeah.
Like I would keep working until I died of starvation and didn't realize it. If there were no one to interact with me, I would just keep going. If somehow I got put into this place where there was infinite work to do, I would just keep going forever.
Yeah. Have you ever played Civilization, the video game Civilization?
No, I know Jacob got into it. Is that one of those games too where you could?
Yeah.
I think I played one of the earlier editions, and it was like you would tell your civilization to like, oh, start researching stuff so we can have candy ropes, and they would start, making
you look at the tech tree and you find the point where they discover candy ropes, and then you just work toward that.
Yeah.
you dedicate the resources of your entire civilization.
At least they'd be happy. But what was your point? Is it one of those games?
Yeah. If you've played that game, you at least I get that way when I play that game. It's like I'll start a game and before I know it, it's 5 hours later. It sucks all time away. And that's actually a game I like playing, but for that same reason, I've kind of stopped playing it because it's just, even though I enjoy it, it's like the day's gone.
Yeah,
from that one activity.
The amount of joy you get out of it and relaxation, it's different. It's not always that refuels you even.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
And it's interesting to think about that. It's like what you spend your time off doing from work, your time off in air quotes, shouldn't be work. Shouldn't have that obsessive motivation to it, but also that seems like you're triggering like a passion of yours, so you shouldn't ignore it.
Oh yeah, I'll make time for it. I found that it's most effective when I pre-plan, and I think this is true for all things, but you wouldn't think about it for a hobby because it feels even more like work. But just taking the time to map out exactly what I'm trying to accomplish so that I don't get stuck in the details, because that's another thing, is it's easy to spin your wheels. I think you said don't let perfection get in the way of good enough.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that idea, like, should I spend 3 hours perfecting this like equation that I'm trying to create that will calculate the trajectory of this thing so that it looks really good? Do I spend 3 hours doing that, or do I just put in what works and accomplishes what I'm trying to accomplish? And maybe it's not 100% perfect. It's
thinking about those questions is what makes a good manager or leader. And it's not something we often think about as like teenagers. We just kind of do whatever we want, but it sounds like you're seeing stuff that just, I guess, kind of naturally developing as a leader. Even just for yourself, it's valuable, but that's what companies need for people who sort of look at dictating what happens within a company and leading other people. You need to think about, like, do we obsess over this little thing, or focus on, how do you decide those things? Well, you're trying to optimize your time, which is also something leaders have to do, is like decide their time is valuable. Anyways, I noticed that, and I've been obsessing a lot about developing people long term. So it's good to see you're doing it naturally, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's a way.
I had another thought. I don't want to stay too long on this topic, but I had So one thing that struck me as strange is another game, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade is what it's called. It's the remake of Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
And I know Square Enix, the people who make it, have kind of gone downhill over the years. They're just not what they used to be.
If they're remaking a game that's like 20 years old, or how old is it at this point?
Okay, they did it mostly because the fans were begging them to. Like, everyone wanted it. I wanted it. Because anyway, but I noticed that there are details in the game that don't matter, and they're details that you're never going to notice. Like, I noticed a detail where, like, a shield on a character, like, moved in a very specific way that was very subtle, and I don't think most people noticed it. And just to fit into obsessive motivation, I think that's a sign that the company doesn't have good leadership, because someone spent a lot of time on that thing that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can see the signs of when a company apparently seems to have spent like a great deal of development time and money on something that has zero impact on the game.
It's not something that indicates something later in the game. It's just like, oh, this random thing has a lot of extra detail in it, and we skimped in other places.
Yeah.
That's sad. It's sad well, maybe we should think about how sad that is over this break.
Well,
breaks are weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry my topic went so long. I know you had some topics.
Why are you sorry? I don't know.
I just
where
think
your topic
we
went.
need to not obsessively,
Maybe,
talk about one thing. I don't know. I was trying to tie it in. It didn't work.
this week is Easter. Happy Easter. I said it first.
Candy sales immediately after. All the good stuff is probably gone.
Are you jumping into like post Easter shopping stuff? Like
yeah, I'm gonna go take a peek at what candy's available.
Maybe they'll have some nerd ropes on sale so you can get some for Adam.
Oh yeah, the themed candy.
But I bet they'll have Peeps on sale.
Yep, and they'll probably have a lot of them because no one likes them.
They're at the dollar store.
Are they $1 a piece?
The dollar store is $1.25 now. So the Dollar Tree.
Oh yeah, I saw like a news article or maybe it was just a post on Reddit. People were upset that Dollar Tree increased their prices.
They also, a new thing they added is they have $5 items. And I didn't realize this. I was in there shopping and I'm like, a charging cable for $1.25? Yeah, I'm in. What's this like off-brand? They just had stuff that was like, I'll take it. I don't care if it stops after a month. My $20 ones stop after a month. They stop working. Like they all stop working in time.
Yeah. You do have to be careful about those so they can fry your electronics. If you're because there are standards on the amount of electricity that a charger should put through a USB cable. And there's
it was the USB cable that
not the little charging block.
Well, yeah, I buy the charging block too, but I don't think they had the bricks or whatever. What do you call them? The charging block.
I don't. I just call it a charging block. I don't know what the actual
slang
name is. Yeah,
but I was curious if you had any cool slang for it, but yeah, those no, it was just the charging cables. I thought were $1, and then I brought it up, and they're like, "Oh, well, these are $5 each."
Oh, how do you know the person you asked wasn't just going to pocket the $3.75?
I guess because they didn't look like they ever stole anything in their life.
Oh, okay.
They looked poor.
It feels opposite. Like if someone needs something, like they're probably more likely to steal. I don't know. I'm not saying poor people are more likely to steal.
It sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying. I guess people that have money are just as likely to steal. It's more of a personality thing. Are you a kleptomaniac?
Yeah, I mean there are rich kleptos. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But no, they just seemed like I mean, they had a name tag and they were the cashier. And if I went and I never verified that things were $5, but they also would only accept cash for some reason. But
you should just have a process of asking for ID when anyone at a store tells you anything, and then hold it up to their name tag and make sure it matches.
I just want to verify you are who you're claiming to be. I don't think that's not in the Easter spirit.
How similar is that to Walmart asking to see your receipt on your way out?
Have you ever had that happen to you?
I've had it happen a few times, not recently. Well, at Sam's Club, they have to scan your receipt as you go out.
Really?
Yeah, they scan it, and then they scan like a few items in your basket. It's just part of their process.
Okay. Why not just move the checkout to the door?
Well, because you check your own stuff out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you do it yourself, and then
there's going to be a class action suit. There's going to be, maybe they've already passed laws, but are you getting paid minimum wage to do that?
You should get a discount. Like an additional discount, and then they should provide, because I mean, if you're older, or if you're even just physically incapable of really doing things with a lot of dexterity, like checking your own stuff out could probably be a burden. You know,
Yeah.
they need to provide a way to, and they do need to pay me for working there for the 5 minutes or less that I'm working
Well,
there.
think about it. The probably trillion people or checkouts that have been automated at this point, let's say they each took 2 minutes. That's probably a conservative, but that's 2 trillion minutes. That's a lot of
That's a lot of minutes.
It's probably not. Yeah, it's not that high. I'm sure that's an exaggeration, but there's a good chunk of change out there that a class action suit could drum up, and these the corporations are just they're just pocketing it at this point. The employees that they're able to not have.
You know what's weird to me is when people get upset when it's suggested that rich people get taxed more.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Because like we're talking about people that no one like you don't know Elon Musk, right? Like no one knows that guy. I feel
like I do. I don't want Elon to get taxed, man. He plays Diablo 4.
Yeah, I relate to him. If he gets taxed, I'm gonna get taxed.
Well, see, the thing is, rich people like him won't get taxed. He's in the 1% because
the 1% of the 1%.
The tax code is written for you and I. So when they talk about taxing the rich, they're actually talking about taxing us. It's just put in a form of like, yeah, we're gonna tax the rich. Okay, well, who are you calling rich? Just so we're clear, because they don't tax based off of like your net worth. So people at the top just don't make any money on paper. Like Elon doesn't make any, like he doesn't have a salary that the government's like, oh, look, you made $500 billion this year. Cool. I'm going to take 40% of that, tuck that away. No, he's made $0 this year.
Well, I mean, don't they tax net worth to some extent?
Like capital gains?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the tax code is there's always loopholes of like, oh, well, I did get this capital gain of $3 billion, but then I had this expense of $3 billion. We had to buy this property in New York. Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough year. So we made $0 this year.
Well, I feel like there's a lack of common sense in the in how taxes work.
Yeah, well, the tax documents, like if you want to understand the amount of reading it would take, the tax code is about 5 million words long.
Oh.
And that's like the original tax document plus the 9,000 pages that have been added by and never approved by Congress or anything. They were just added on, endlessly complex. And it's supposed to be complex so that we need accountants to do it. Sorry, I was hearing.
Yeah,
what?
When the only thing I could think about just then when you were talking is the poor guy who got stuck with counting all the words.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that would be rough. Wouldn't you just feel
probably an accountant or my Microsoft Word counter?
It's actually just a person.
It's just a person
all day counting words.
At least he didn't have to read it. No one's read it. There's probably like a group where it's like, okay, this first person gets the first 100 pages of it. The second person gets the second, and they collaborate on understanding it. Yeah, now I feel like can we go back to Easter?
Sure, yeah.
How could we enhance Easter? Aside from like taxes are due this time of year too. That's also probably why it's on my mind. But the Easter Bunny, he comes, he leaves candy. There's a basket involved. I loved it as a kid. I don't have complaints.
Yeah.
How could we make it better? Bring it up to like modern times.
You could maybe some VR element to it. Maybe have it be like a horror game where you have to hide from the Easter Bunny.
I don't think that's.
Oh wait, no, that is
Gotta
taking
be.
it in a weird direction.
I guess that's good for adults. Maybe they probably have a horror movie, but like for kids' enjoyment. I actually thought while you were talking about like some sort of Easter TikTok dance they could have.
No. I mean, I keep thinking like every idea I'm coming up with is ruined because there are people that are just weird, you know? Like I was thinking maybe it could be like a tradition that in your neighborhood everyone puts out a few like Easter eggs.
I thought about doing that.
And then the whole neighborhood gets to go on like an Easter egg hunt together.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking is I would just like leave Easter eggs in people's yards.
But then you get an egg and it's like slightly heavier and you open it and it's filled with baked beans.
Nice.
And they're still hot. Like it's steaming.
That's what I was hoping.
I don't know. It'd be ruined by weird people, you know? Even if that was a joke, like funny, it's still like, you know, so weird. I don't want to eat these baked beans.
I feel like you're the one who would leave baked beans. You came up with that idea.
Just like just cans of baked beans, not even in eggs, just strewn about.
You could paint the cans. Like Easter painting.
Like canned goods instead of eggs. Maybe that's how we improve it. It's much more practical if you think about it.
That is practical. That seems like pre-depression thoughts.
Yeah, it feels very dystopian.
Yeah. Like, ooh, kids, we get to eat corn tonight because the Easter Bunny dropped some cans in our yard. Yay. Oh, man. That gives me anxiety. Let's take a quick break. Wow, that went quick like a bunny.
Quick like a bunny.
Yeah, like an Easter bunny.
Like that's a good tie-in to the holiday.
Yeah, and it's a good tie-in to thanking the listeners. Thank you, listeners. I get to declare a winner. And
who's it gonna be?
I know, right? The winner is I already brought this up, but it's Peeps. Peeps win because they are the best.
All the little Peeps in their plastic boxes are so happy right now.
Yeah, some of them are out drying right now, getting ready to be devoured.
You know, that's the one thing I understand though about I don't get why people like Peeps, but doing that, like there's this Cheetos puff corn.
Yeah.
I like to leave the bag open so that it gets slightly stale.
Yeah.
Because the texture is a little different.
But I get it, but it sounds bad to me, but I feel like there's almost a ceremony to it, which is like there's a practice going on. And something that I want people to do is like make a practice of rating and reviewing and finding us online at brothertimepod.com.
brothertimepod.com.